How goes it, brosif? It's time we had a little talk. I've been a little under the weather the past week. My room's a mess. Got a pile of laundry to do. Haven't been in the gym in like 10 days. But it's all good. It's all chill. Because we'll be right back where we left off in no time. I haven't really done much the past week. Haven't been in the gym. Just been reading a lot. I felt super fatigued. So did a lot of reading and writing. And it was pretty good. I thought about making one of these videos, but I was like, I can't, I'm sick. That was my excuse. I'm sick. Can't make a video. Even though all that this video requires me to do is just get my camera, click record, and sit out here. Don't have to smoke a cigar, but kind of like it. So, in all this recent stuff, I'm reminded of this quote that I saw. I don't know where I saw it, but I think it was on someone's Instagram bio. It says, 90% of life is showing up. 90%. Most of life, you just got to show up. And then you'll get most of what you want, 90% out of life. So this video is kind of me practicing that because I'm not fully recovered yet. Whatever. Just click record and here we go. Strap on in. Enjoy the ride. I think there's a lot of wisdom in the 90% of showing up, because think about how much we miss out on because of fear and we decide not to show up. Whether it's, I'm not gonna go to this party that I could network a lot at because I gotta get my sleep, or I'm not gonna go to the gym, I'm not gonna show up to the gym today because I slept in, or because of whatever stupid reason, or I'm not gonna make this meeting because I gotta do this other thing. We come up with all these excuses, but really it's out of fear. You just gotta show up. Like for me lately, I've been having to practice this with freaking sparring, dude. I suck so bad at MMA, but I wanna get better. And at this gym, there's some dogs there, some pros, and they just piece me up. Pop, pop, pop. And I don't wanna show up, but I know it's gonna get better. And here's the thing. The good news about showing up, if you can become a pro at showing up and showing up on time, there's some truth in better late than never. I think it's the important thing is that you show up, but if you can show up on time, it's much better. It's good. It's like a hallmark of a well-mannered person and good breeding. But the good news is when you show up to a thing that you may fear, it's oftentimes, most of the time, at least 90% of the time, not as bad as you probably anticipated it. Even if it's like a date, maybe you want to cancel on a date. If it doesn't go well, then you have gained information that is not the person that you should be pursuing. So that's actually a good thing. But at the gym, like I've done some thought experiments where I might wake up after like 3 or 4 hours of sleep and I gotta go to the gym and I'm like, I don't wanna go, I can't, I need my sleep, whatever the excuse is. But I make a deal with myself. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to the gym. I might even do a shitty ass workout, but I'm just gonna show up. I'm gonna go through the motions, and if I regret it, all I gotta do is regret going to the gym. I can come home and take a nap or whatever it may be. Back when I was well, actually, never mind. Whatever it may be, just make a deal with yourself. Even let yourself participate in one of your vices as a deal. Be like, I can smoky smoke if I get back. Or I can, watch a TV show if I regret it. But not a single one time, no matter how little of sleep I've had, no matter whatever the case may be, I've never regretted showing up for the gym. I always leave the gym happy that I got my workout in. Like today, I thought about it, I didn't show up today. I should have. My excuse was, I don't want to get someone there sick, but I know I'm not contagious. and I'm like not fully recovered. So I was like, oh, the workout's not going to be that good, but it would have been better than no workout, which I did. No workout, obviously. There's a great, I think it was like Mark Twain that has this quote, but it is, in life I've known many great fears, many a great fear, seldom of which have ever come true. Think about all the things you fear the most. Half of them probably don't come true because you don't let them come true, because you don't attack those fears. The other half don't come true probably because you were fearing too much. You were over anticipating what the fear would be. You need to use fear as a compass, all right? If you're afraid to show up to some meeting, some conference, you're like, oh, I'm not gonna know anyone there. Dude, just show up. Or even if it's church, like, oh, I don't wanna go to church by myself. I've actually dealt with that, where it's like, oh, I wanna go to church, but everyone's out of town or whatever. I'm like, screw it, I'll go by myself. Never have regretted doing it. In fact, I think you can listen a lot better to the sermons, and they seem to pertain to your life, at least my life, more when I'm there alone. It's kind of interesting. I remember, it can be so many things. I think of it, the 90% showing up. I think of it a lot with sports, growing up, playing organized sports, just hating practice. Now, if you love practice, that's another thing. That is a secret superpower. But man, high school football, we would dread practice, especially as an underclassman, dude. We'd be like, oh, we gotta do Eagle drill, Oklahoma drill, all these hitting drills, earning your stripes, whatever you want to call it. The buddy carries up the hill. Just dreading it, dude. But it was never really that bad. Like, you would always leave football practice. Honestly, the more beat up you got, the more scars and scratches and mud you had all over you, honestly, the sicker, like in a good way, the sicker you felt. Not like sick like pestilence, but sick like dope. You felt like a beast, dude. Like when you're just covered in sweat and smelling like ass. Wrestling practice, I never wrestled, but this MMA training, I know that there's some similarities. Just the dread, and it's never really as bad. I mean, it might be tiring, but you're gonna recover from that, and then next time you do it, you're gonna be less tired. Oh shoot. I remember one time, my buddy and I are lifting weights for football, and we just like, he really, really hated practice. He'd be like, dude, it's only fun for the games. We only have a game once a week. Practice sucks. I'm like, obviously we gotta practice to get better. I'm playing devil's advocate to him, except for I'm on the side of correctness in this scenario, where we have like, I think we're squatting. He pulls a plate off the rack, this 45-pound plate. He looks at me, he's like, dude, I'm gonna drop this on my foot. He's like, I'm gonna drop this on my foot and break my toe so I don't have to come to practice today. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, don't do it. Don't drop the weight. He didn't do it. He came to practice, and he was good too. He wasn't like a scrub. He wasn't someone forced to play either. Like, you know, some kids, like their dad will be like, oh, you have to play football. You have to do it. Nah, he didn't drop the weight. But just the thought, I was like, that would never cross my mind. I thought of some crazy things. This is pretty bad. My sophomore year, dude, this thing keeps sticking to my lips. I'm just gonna pull it off. My sophomore year, me and like 3 other friends on the team, we were on varsity, but we weren't starters, so we weren't super important. We were mainly playing JV, but in the varsity practices. So we had church on Wednesdays. And Wednesdays was a long day of practice. So we knew that a lot of our coaches were very stout Christians. And so we'd be like, hey coach, we got church on Wednesdays, we gotta go. We gotta leave practice early so we can get there in time to hear the message. They're like, all right. So we would leave practice early, run to the locker room, change, shower, go to church. And then we'd be there, And then our quarterback, our starting senior quarterback, would be at church, and he'd see us like, what are y'all, like, y'all don't have to leave practice early to get here on time. Because we would take our time getting ready. That was not good. But it's good we showed up to church. We didn't have to cut out on practice. I digress a bit with that story. But yeah, show up, dude. Never fear. Think about how much, like, it's funny how there's FOMO, there's fear of missing out. And then think about how much you miss out on if you don't show up. Okay? That's obvious when it comes to, like, if you're a FOMO person, you don't want to miss out on anything. You got to be at all the parties that people are at, go to all the events. But I think there's a good type of FOMO, fear of missing out in life on your own experiences, not necessarily missing out with other people. Now, I think it's important to have those social experiences, but showing up to the conference, showing up to practice, showing up to the gym, to church, to the camera, to the video, the podcast, whatever it is, show up, because think about how much there is to miss out on. I just thought of another example from high school. So for my freshman year, we're on this Young Life retreat camp, winter camp, all right, for a weekend. And then we were like, there's kind of some mischief we would get into a little bit on these things. We sneak out on the last night, all right? Me and 3 other friends, we're all freshmen. We hear people in the hot tub, it's all juniors and seniors. We're like, oh, those are the big boys. One of them was like, hey, come in the hot tub with us. We're like, oh, like, we gotta go. This is huge. This could be huge for our prospective high school careers. 2 of us get down there first, all right? So it's me, a freshman, then another freshman, then all the upperclassmen. And then our 2 other buddies who are lagging behind, we see them creeping down. They're kind of like looking, taking a few steps, look a little more. I don't know what came over them. But they get to the stairs and they're walking down, they're walking slower, and I don't know if someone yelled something at them or they heard something. Something crept into their minds and convinced them that this was a bad idea, and they turn around and run back in the cabin. We never heard from them that night. Nothing crazy went down. We jumped in the lake, that was fun, freezing cold lake. But that was a great memory that I shared with my buddy that they could have shared with us, but fear held them back, okay? They didn't show up. You gotta show up, bro. Show up, take a step further, show up on time, be punctual, take it a step even further, show up early, bang. Probably shouldn't be smoking this right now, but who cares? We're not gonna overthink it. We're gonna underthink it. Show up, whatever it may be. I'm trying to think. Skydiving, make plans to skydive, don't cancel last minute, show up. Just show up, bare minimum. Like maybe it's like a wedding party for a friend that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're like, I haven't seen these people in so long, like what are they gonna think of me? Who cares what they think of you, first of all? Maybe I won't have fun, maybe it won't be fun, and maybe it'll be the worst party you ever went to. Maybe the freaking bride's dress is gonna burn in a fire. I don't know. But show up. Just show up, Say what's up. Maybe this party sucks, hang out for a little bit, then dip. Carry on with your night. The things that ought to be good for you or bad for you to show up to. It should be a pretty obvious difference. If you don't know, then look at this. If you're having to convince yourself of a reason, like come up with a reason not to show up, it's probably a good thing you should be at. But if you know blatantly clear, like, hey, I don't need to be going to this. When I worked at the hospital, we would hear about these, like, they called them Skittle parties or something, where everyone would bring different pills from their parents' medicine cabinet and mix them all together. Yeah, kind of sketch. And then you don't know what you're taking, mix them together, and then you'd be messed ass up. Hell, people going to the hospital. That, you could be like, hey, probably shouldn't show up to this. If you're having to convince yourself a reason that you should show up, you probably shouldn't. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, rewatch it. Anyways, that's it for today. 90% of life is showing up. Just show up, dude. See what happens. You don't have to stay there. Even if you want to travel to Europe or something, just show up. Just get there. Get there first. All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed one.